Audio looks like it's coming through okay. So welcome to another exciting Reason stream. Okay, so today we have a mission for today, and that is possibly a mission for the next several days, and that is to go through the Complex-1 operation manual. Where is Complex-1? Where is it? There it is. All right, let's get rid of this piano and see what we can do here. I'll make the window a bit bigger and try and fix it up. Recenter it. So we're still sort of getting a feel for this streaming thing, so bear with me. So we've got Complex-1 here. That's the default. That's cheating. Reset device. So I've got the operation manual here for Complex-1 in case I need it. But what I'm going to try and do is learn Complex-1 as best I can. And I'm going to do that I think today I'm going to try and start doing that by going through each section one by one. Let's turn on the cables because everyone likes cables. And we're just going to work on the complex oscillator section for today. We'll try and avoid getting too much rat holing into the other sections. So I've still got my setup without headphones. So we will see how that goes. Obviously you can hear the sound coming through the microphone if I do that. So I'm going to mute myself, and eventually I'll try and get like push to talk or something working. Or I could try and dig out some headphones, but I much prefer to use my studio speakers. Anyway, without further ado, let's just start fiddling and see where we land. Let's go. Alright, and already the first thing that I want to do is I want to try and get velocity. Can I move that over? No, I have to do that. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, so how do I do velocity? Do I need to run it through scaling? I know I'll work on this section here. Is my cursor coming through? Can you see me wiggling at things? Yeah, you can. Okay. Yeah, I know I said that I wanted to work on the synthesis section, but I kind of want a velocity sensitivity. So obviously I'm guessing that is velocity, and do I have to bring it through a scale and amp? Let's try that. Are we velocity sensitive yet? Need more? Not that much. I think that'll do for now. I might even actually take that off. We'll see how I feel about it. We'll see where we go. But now we have the option, so let's carry on. I need a way to like continuously output notes that are interesting. Maybe I'll just stick a quad note in here. Try that. Can we reset? Actually, is it? Of course I've been running it unmuted. So need to set up push to talk somehow. Anyway, suffice to say, in the meantime, what we want to do is now have a look at the manual. I wonder if I can actually bring the manual up on stream, and just get it over on the side here. So let's add a window capture. Window capture, create, and just blindly just shove it in full view in the thing. Don't worry if I've got any other documents up that might end up captured. Jeez. Good work, OBS. Anyway, good thing it selected the correct correct thing to capture. Let's see if we can get it down to size. Streaming, everyone, super professional. Make it a bit bigger, and I have to zoom out now so I can see the whole thing. And let's see, I'll get rid of that. You know what? That's close enough. So, janky stream setup. Regardless, there we go, close enough. Okay, so I want to fiddle with the whole section here. I want to see what I can do with it. So let's see. I was having trouble with this yesterday, the external CV out actually. I need to figure out what that is actually outputting, because it wasn't what I wanted, and that just could be because I was making a mistake. All right. All right, let's just start with the pitch section. I need to do so many documents. So I've already discovered a flaw in my plan, and that is it doesn't really make sense to only be looking at one section of this, because obviously all of these things have these nice little inputs here. It's like, oh, we've got to plug that into something and make it do a thing. So I have to maybe think a little bit harder about what I'm going to do here. But nevertheless, we'll still try and focus on that, but we might maybe bring in the LFO, perhaps. Have we got anything interesting CV wise? I mean, I can bring in some note CVs, etc. So we'll carry on. So let's try and fiddle a bit with this amplitude modulation section, and see if we can figure out like amplitude modulation versus ring modulation, which is interesting. So I'm going to bang in another one of these suckers and reset it. I should really set up Reason just to only ever import. I don't know. Sometimes I like. Nah, I don't. Like I almost always just hit reset. So, all right, we've got our own reset instrument with just straight up MIDI. We're all the way over there, and let's bang it out to. It would help if we turn that up. So 50%. This should do amplitude modulation. We've got that wobble. I know I'm feeding back through the microphone. We'll fix that. I'm so sorry. All right, and then let's see if we can get some ring modulation going and see what that sounds like. Okay, so we get a sort of very, I don't know, Hammond organ-y sort of effect. Let's see. Okay, let's go back to our other device. Make that the main one. Sounds pretty much exactly like you would expect that. I've left myself unmuted. Oh, we need to come up with a fix to that fairly soon, whether that's headphones or something else. I really need one that's mono, my man. What do we got? Oh, okay, there's a folder that helps. I mean, that one ended up being the nicest anyway, I think. Of course, now I've lost all my adjustments. Whoops. Do I want to undo through that? No, not really. Man, I had it sounding so nice before, and now it doesn't sound any good at all, which is very frustrating. Maybe I will try and build something. I did say that using the batches is cheating. Blasphemy, I know. So we'll see what we can do. Yeah, I really liked it before, and now it's crap. Let's try this one and see if this one sounds any good. Just try the presets. That's a lot more constrained. The microphone again. Still, I think that sounds a lot better, so we'll carry on and get back to the Complex-1. Alright, so let's investigate this oscillator 1 to 2 modulation. So hard sync is when one oscillator restarts the period of another oscillator so that they have the same base frequency. you change or modulate the pitch frequency of the synced oscillator, you'll get the characteristic sound associated with oscillator sync. You can hard sync oscillator 2 from oscillator 1 in characteristic sync. Oscillator 2's pitch parameter is modulated. I mean, let's try that out in a little test thing that I believe we already reset, but we'll try it now. And MIDI. I wish show cables were default. So I think I have to do this. And possibly this. Ooh, that's funky. Maybe I have to do it this way around. Oh, the microphone. That's interesting. Let's try and do that. Okay, I think we got the gist of that. Is there anything we can do with that in our other patch? Okay, so I mean, it doesn't make too much of a difference because they're. So what I'm getting from this is this needs to actually be tuned higher than the second one to actually sound particularly different, which I guess makes sense. I mean, we'll give it a try, but because they're both in key, I don't think it's going to make a huge amount of difference. But we'll try it. So yeah, with it off, we get this nice sort of chord thing, and it seems actually does make a difference with it on versus. Sorry, it does make a difference whether it's tuned up or down. But you get this nice sort of you get like a chord with it off, like this, and with it on, you get sort of a different kind of. Is it a chord? It's not so much a chord, but you still get that like I mean, if I stick this up onto a 7, it's nice. There's like a chordy flavour to it, but it's not a chord. Whereas I turn that off. Yeah, actually, you know what? 7's probably different because it probably lines up those waveforms. So it actually is interesting. Anyway, I'll play with it for a bit more, but then we'll move on to the next section. So obviously if you sync them up, you lose that the pitch wobbling that I've got going on here gets lost. All right, anyway, let's move on to FM modulation. had another LFO. Is there any way to get an LFO? Because I know I'm using this one already. I want another one. I don't think any of these is something that will operate as an LFO, except maybe the clock. I'll just stick it on that and see what it does. The microphone again. I apologize to anyone listening to this because the mic will be picking up the speaker audio. We will fix that. We will definitely fix that now because that's a big problem. This is why we run the test stream. But I think we're pretty much done here. Like I was vaguely sticking. Like we've got the mix going out to what on earth are we doing here? Oh, that's the velocity. We've got the mix going out there, and then we've got 1, 1, 2, which doesn't really do anything that interesting, and out 1 and out 2. I can just adjust that. So I think we've done everything in oscillator, the main oscillator section. We'll have a quick gander at the oscillator 3. Maybe we'll add a sub bass or something, but I don't think there's a lot to do here. We might fiddle with the pitch adjust inputs and stuff, but all right, let's continue. It might be interesting. This is useful for special sounds and effects. All right, you know what? Let's do the thorough thing and try it on this. Let's switch it over to that one, please, and we'll see what this sounds like. There's a reason. Why is this not an auto follow? I feel like there's a way to follow selection on MIDI input. Now I can hear my sound. I was like, why does this not sound like it's changing? And a lot like this. I haven't moved MIDI in there. Anyway, carry on. All right, so thinking about it, I really wonder whether that makes a scrap of difference. I mean, like 1 minus 2 should be phase inverted but tonally the same as 1 plus 2. So I'm really struggling to see what the point of that is now. I'm like yes, you get that signal, but then you'd have to use that signal for something that's not audio to really make a difference. Otherwise it's just louder. So I don't think that's a meaningful thing to really look into. I don't know, it might come in handy, but it's not audio. I think, in theory. My audio theory says that it doesn't do anything useful. So let's get back to this. Can I have MIDI back on this one now? And get my polka going and mute my microphone, and we'll carry on. We'll try a little bit of sub bass and then we'll finish the stream. I think what that tells us is the sub bass. This synth does not require a sub bass by any stretch of the imagination, so that's fine. Yeah, it doesn't require a sub bass, and so I think we're pretty much done. And I'm going to call that one done too, because it's done. Maybe we'll just finish off the whole red section. No, look, we'll do a proper thing on noise later. We've done everything in this section. This is obvious enough. It doesn't do anything that's particularly interesting. Yeah, it's just another oscillator, and it's not useful in this particular patch for a sub bass. Maybe you could use it as a sub bass in some things. That's the obvious use for it. But I think it's probably more useful for modulation. So I think this is what we would call our second LFO if it came down to it. In fact, you know what? Let's finish up by doing that. Maybe I'll stick you in here and see what you sound like. Oh, the flipping. Ah, I'm so sorry. I've left the microphone on again. Yeah, there's answers the main question here, and that is we need something. We either need headphones or push to talk that will unmute the microphone and mute or severely duck the audio. No, it needs to mute the audio on my end. So I'll do that. I'm going to save this. I'll save it off stream, but we'll save this as just today's effort. And I think we've thoroughly gone through this main oscillator section and oscillator 3 as well in sufficient detail that we can move on. So thanks for watching, everyone. It's just about the hour, so that's enough for me. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.